Hello, Isobelle, Isaac and Jeremy. It's Grandma here. I'm missing you lots and lots too, so I wish I could pick you up and put you on my knee and read you one of my favourite stories called Hide and Seek at Blackberry Farm. This is a very old book. And look, Isobelle, this is one of the ones you used to love. Here we go, Hide and Seek at Blackberry Farm. Lucy and Marcus Mouse had two fine children called Len and Sid, and they all lived very happily down a hole in the corner of the big barn at Blackberry Farm. But one day Lucy Mouse was very alarmed to see George the kitten playing in the barn. "Go away, George," she cried. "You'll frighten my babies. Go away and play somewhere else." And she shook her broom at him. Poor old pussycat. Now, Lucy Mouse was pretending that she was very brave, for she was really very frightened of cats. "He is a nice cat as cats go," she said to Marcus, "but one day he might forget and be a little rough with my babies." And Marcus Mouse agreed. Len and Sid were good little mice, but they did think it was more fun to play all over the barn, and not just in their own little corner. So when their mother was busy, they scampered off to play in the straw, right on the other side of the barn. Uh-oh. They ran up to the top of the pile of straw and peeped over the edge. There, asleep in the sunshine, was George the kitten. He looked very gentle and very soft and not at all bad. Len and Sid slid carefully down until they were very close, so they could almost touch him. Uh-oh, cats and mice shouldn't play. The straw creaked and George's whiskers twitched. Len and Sid jumped back and looked again. Georgie opened one eye and then he opened the other, and he saw the two little mice. "Boo!" he said. "I'm coming to play with you." Uh-oh. But Len and Sid thought it was time to go home, so they scampered up to the top of the straw and down the other side and across the barn and hid in an old wheelbarrow. Phew! You know what cats like to do with mice, don't you? And Georgie went up over the straw and down the other side and across the barn. But when he came to the old wheelbarrow, he could not see Len and Sid any more. "Meow," he called. "Come and play with me." But Len and Sid kept very still inside the old wheelbarrow. When they thought that Georgie would not notice, they nipped out of the barrow to hide behind a large bucket full of water. But Georgie had seen their tails flash, and as they ran, he jumped high in the air after them. "Now I will catch you," he thought, and he called out, "Look out, Len and Sid, I'm coming to catch you." "Yeah, right." Silly cat. Oh, he's a silly cat, isn't he, kids? But it was a longer jump than Georgie had thought. Poor Georgie! Instead of landing on top of the little mice, he landed splash in the bucket of water. Silly. And Len and Sid laughed. They sat back and laughed until their whiskers ached. Grandma loves making everyone laugh, don't they? Doesn't she, I mean? Right. Then they ran home to tea and told Lucy and Marcus Mouse all about the chase. And Lucy and Marcus scolded them and told them that they were very lucky not to have been caught by George, and that they must never go over to the other side of the barn again. And poor wet Georgie had to dry himself in front of the kitchen fire, and no one could understand how he'd managed to get so wet, because it was a very sunshiny day at Blackberry Farm, and Georgie thought it was better not to tell anyone what had happened, so he didn't. And that's the end of the story. And here's some of Isobelle's beautiful writing when she slept over at Grandma's house one day. It's very precious to me. I bet your writing is so much better now, Izzy. Yeah, absolutely. All right, my darlings. Here's Grandma. Love you all very, very much. And I miss you and I love you and I'm so glad you're having so much fun. I'm outside the library and over the road from the train. And it's very windy. Can you see the library? Oh, it's a bit wobbly, sorry. No. Anyway. Love you all, my darlings. I'll catch up with you very soon where I can give you lots of kisses and even more cuddles. Bye. Bye, train.